What are some other practical ways besides making love calls or saying I love you to hold the vibration of love, especially when I'm feeling angry, frustrated, or sad? For example, as much as I try, in quotes, my husband often seems to do things that, in quotes again, trigger me. What is the best thing for me to do when that happens? Thank you.
Well, Adriana has since spoken to this dear heart, and she answered her own question. She chose to hum a tune, to just hum, and to sing a happy song, to hum a happy song. And this immediately changed her vibration. Now, in an earlier communication, earlier discussion, earlier this month, we spoke to a group of wonderful dear ones, and we explained that abundance in all forms comes when you hold the high vibration of love. And so for information on that, on how to create more abundance in all forms in your life, you can go to the website that Adriana has set up, and you can look and read. In this case, you would have to read the transcript of the discussion of earlier this month of October. But as far as making calls, these love calls, telling ones in your life that you love them, yes, this absolutely helps to maintain a very high vibration. And it also brings in much more than just the love energy. This is a whole nother discussion. But in order to hold a high vibration, when you're in a situation, whether it be at work, whether it be in your family relationships, you're always going to have these individuals or these certain behaviors that are going to trigger you, so to speak. And to be fair, you also trigger different things in others as well. It is more about recognizing the trigger, so to speak, and changing the thought or changing the pattern, the habit, redirecting. So, for example, if someone pushes your button, pushes the trigger, pulls the trigger, so to speak, or hits a trigger for you, and it makes you angry. Well, why is it making you angry? That is the first question to ask yourself. Now, the answer may not come right away, and this is totally fine. But now how to change how to redirect from being angry to getting back to a state of joy. In this case, this dear one had answered her own question because she responded to Adriana, and she said she started to hum a tune. And immediately the triggers, the behavior of her husband that bothered her so a few moments before did not bother her anymore. So she figured it out herself how to redirect. That is very simple, very simple. Another very simple way to redirect is not to, respond immediately. You can take some deep breaths, conscious breaths through the mouth, inhaling and exhaling through the mouth. That will also help to, release some of the pressure buildup of the anger. Thank you, dear one. Wonderful question. Your interpersonal relationships challenge you the most, but they also bring out the most beauty in you as well. As you learn to step up the ladder, so to speak, in dealing with behaviors of others and in dealing with even your own behaviors. Love truly does cover a multitude of sins. We're going to address this a little bit later. But love truly does cover a multitude of sins. If you cannot bring yourself to love the person who is annoying you, then love yourself enough to take a moment, breathe, hum a tune, or just walk away.
Our second question, it deals with the some of the popular media and different issues regarding December 12th, 2012. Our question is, what does the collective say about all this hype regarding the date of December 12th, 2012? And also there's another question sort of compounded with that, with this, the same thing in mind, dealing with young people. Our young ones, our children, are hearing various things on 2012 that seem to be frightening them. How can we simplify an answer for them to understand that all is well and not to fear? Now, here's an example of a 12-year-old child said to this person that we won't have Christmas in 2012 because 12/21/2012, it's over. Of course, the person who emailed said, I say it's malarkey, but how can we express the wonders that lie ahead for them and for them to feel comfortable and not fear?
Indeed. That is a wonderful question. In fact, it has been annoying, irritating to Adriana to see the commercial for this new movie that is coming out, that Your Hollywood has produced, entitled 2012, because of course it is showing all sorts of cataclysmic events, and there's so much fear around this, and yet we will tell you there need not be any fear around it at all. What it is in this case is the 12/12 energy is remarkable energy. 12, even in your numerology, is considered a master number. It is one of the highest numbers. It is a high spiritual number. This, we could make a whole answer just on this number, but we wish to keep it brief. We wish to address the fear that is around this date. You have just entered or just closed a chapter, so to speak, on the 999, your September 909. You have just closed a chapter, so to speak, of an old way of being, doing, and thinking. And so you have a saying here that when one door closes, another one opens. Well, you just had the closing of this 999. You just had an ending to all of this fear. There are collapsings of systems that are no longer working for you. They're no longer working for the good of the whole. And because they are out of integrity, they needed to go. You are going to see some more of that in your political structures, in your commercial structures, in your religious structures, and in, yes, your commercial, your political, and in your religious structures. Of course, the first that needed to crumble is your financial systems, because they are so out of balance and out of integrity. Okay, so this is where some of this fear is coming around this 12/12. Now you are already living in that 12/12 energy. You see, that 2012